Earth did not respond. Until the Council's mockery became unacceptable, Earth did not respond when the first message came. The signal entered the solar system like a bright thread pulled across dark water. It did not flicker or break. It moved with purpose, carrying patterns that were older than any human language and sharper than any code written on Earth. The deep space listening stations caught it first, then the observatories, then the quiet military arrays that did not officially exist. In Nevada, beneath a wide stretch of desert that looked empty from the sky, a secure facility came alive. Daniel Brooks stood in a dim control room and watched lines of translation scroll across a wide screen. He was not a tall man, and he did not look like someone who carried the weight of a planet's choices. His hair had more gray than it did a year ago. His hands rested calmly behind his back. Beside him, Dr. Laura Mitchell leaned forward, her eyes focused and bright. She had waited her whole life for proof that humanity was not alone. She had dreamed of this moment as a student staring at stars through a cheap telescope. Now the stars were speaking back. The message was clear. It introduced a body called the Galactic Council. It listed species with names that twisted the human tongue. It described trade routes that crossed dozens of star systems. It spoke of law, order, and shared defense. It also described Earth. Earth was labeled as a developing world, observed, not yet ready for membership. Not yet stable, not yet advanced. Laura felt the excitement in her chest cool into something heavier. "They are judging us," she said quietly. Daniel nodded once. "Yes, they are." The translation program refined itself as more data came in. Hidden under the formal words was tone. The Council did not fear humanity. It did not even see humanity as a threat. It saw Earth as a loud child playing with dangerous tools. The message ended with an offer. The Council would continue to observe. If humanity showed sufficient growth, a formal review could happen in 100 standard cycles. No threat, no welcome, just assessment. Within hours, the message reached the White House. President Ethan Clark sat at the long table in the secure room below ground. The walls were plain, the air felt heavy. Around him sat a small group of advisors: Nicole Hayes from National Security, General Aaron Hill from the Defense Command, Daniel Brooks and Laura Mitchell joined by SecureLink. Nicole spoke first. "If this is real, we are no longer alone, but they have already placed us in a box." General Hill crossed his arms. "Observation today, control tomorrow." Laura shook her head. "We do not know that. They may simply be cautious." Daniel watched the faces around the table. Fear, pride, anger, hope. President Clark folded his hands. "If we respond, what do we say?" No one answered right away. To accept their tone would mean agreeing with it. To challenge it would mean showing weakness or fear. Daniel finally spoke. "We say nothing." The room shifted. General Hill frowned. "Silence makes us look afraid." "No," Daniel replied calmly. "It makes us look patient." Nicole studied him. "You think they expect noise?" "Yes, they expect us to celebrate or protest. They expect emotion. If we give them nothing, they will reveal more about themselves." Laura felt uneasy, but she understood. Humanity had always been quick to speak, quick to react. Silence would be new. President Clark nodded slowly. "We remain silent. We observe the observers." The order went out quietly. No public announcement, no global broadcast. The message from the Council was classified at the highest level, but the Council had not sent their greeting in secret. Far beyond Pluto, a sleek vessel of smooth silver drifted. Its hull carried living circuits that glowed faintly. Inside, Ambassador Loran of the Virelian Concord watched Earth through layered displays. Loran's species had long limbs and pale skin that shimmered under soft light. Their eyes were dark and wide, designed for distant stars. Loran had expected a quick reply from Earth. Perhaps a clumsy greeting, perhaps a request for technology. Instead, there was nothing. Days passed. The Council chamber, many light years away, gathered for review. Massive forms filled the space. Some floated in fields of energy. Some rested on mechanical supports. Each represented a species older than human civilization. Counselor Pevek, whose kind communicated through vibrations in air, released a low hum of amusement. "The combustion world remains silent." Loran inclined their head. "They have received the message. Their systems are active." "Then they are unsure," Pevek replied, "or frightened." Soft waves of agreement moved across the chamber. Loran was less certain. Silence could mean many things. On Earth, silence did not mean inaction. In orbit above Mars, Admiral Ryan Cole stood on the bridge of a ship that did not officially exist. The vessel, named Horizon in internal records, had no public registry. Its hull was dark, shaped for speed and survival. It did not rely on old chemical rockets. It used compact fusion drives and experimental gravity systems that bent space in small, controlled ways. Ryan watched a tactical display that showed dozens of small icons scattered across the asteroid belt. Mining stations to the public. Something else in truth. Maya Torres moved between consoles with steady focus. She was chief engineer for Project Aegis. She had built half the systems that kept Horizon alive. The Council probe near Pluto is still holding position, she said. Passive scans? Ryan asked. Yes, they are not hiding it. Ryan gave a short breath of air that was not quite a laugh. They want us to see them, Maya nodded. Like a flag. Ryan looked at the curve of Mars outside the viewport, rust red, quiet, human colonies below the surface, shipyards in shadow. We stay dark, he said. No active scans beyond civilian level. Maya returned to her station. Understood. Back in Nevada, Laura reviewed deeper layers of the Council transmission. There were patterns inside patterns, references to internal debate. Minor disagreements between Council species about how to classify Earth. They are not united, she told Daniel one evening as they walked through a quiet hallway. Few groups ever are, Daniel replied. Laura stopped at a window that showed only rock beyond thick glass. Part of me wants to answer, to tell them we are more than our past. Daniel considered her words. We are more than our past, but they do not know us and we do not know them. You think they might act against us? I think power does not enjoy surprises. Above them, hidden within layers of earth and steel, teams worked around the clock. New satellites were launched under the cover of weather research. Deep space platforms adjusted positions slowly, using low-energy burns to avoid notice. Dr. Kevin Harper led a project few understood outside his circle. Quantum veil technology sounded like science fiction even to scientists. It bent detection waves, scattered signals, and created empty spaces where ships could hide. Kevin stared at equations that filled an entire wall display. If their sensors work the way we think, he muttered, they will see what we allow. A young technician looked at him. And if we are wrong, Kevin smiled faintly. Then we learn quickly. Weeks passed. The Council sent no second message. Instead, something else happened. Fragments of commentary began to appear in open deep space channels, not direct addresses, casual discussions. Counselor Pevek speaking to another species about unstable atmospheric war cultures. Loran mentioning Earth as energetic but limited. The words were not hidden. They were allowed to drift within range of human receivers. Nicole Hayes listened to one such transmission in her office. The tone was light, amused. They are talking about us like we are not listening, she said. Daniel stood across from her. They know we are listening. Nicole's jaw tightened. They want a reaction. Yes. Do we still give them silence? Daniel looked at the city lights beyond the window. Yes. Publicly, the world continued as normal. Markets rose and fell. Elections approached. Storms formed over oceans. Privately, Earth changed. In shipyards near Jupiter, massive frames took shape. They were labeled as cargo carriers in public logs. Their cores told a different story. Ryan Cole received updated orders. Maintain readiness. Avoid engagement. Observe. He gathered his senior crew in a small briefing room. They think we are small, he said plainly. That can work in our favor. A young officer named Jason Reed frowned. Sir, what if they decide to test us? Ryan met his gaze. Then we make sure the test surprises them. Maya watched quietly. She trusted the Admiral. She also understood the thin line they walked. One mistake could reveal everything. Far away in the council chamber, impatience grew. Pevek released another amused vibration. The combustion world hides in its shell. Another council member suggested sending a closer patrol just to measure response time. Loran hesitated. Caution may be wise. They have achieved controlled fusion. Their rapid advancement is notable. Pevek's response carried mild dismissal. Notable is not dangerous. The vote to continue observation passed easily. Back on Earth, Laura stood in the control room again. She watched as the Council probe near Pluto shifted slightly closer to the inner system. They are moving, she said. Daniel nodded. Still within open space. For now. Silence filled the room. Humanity had once shouted into space, sending music and greetings and maps. Now it listened. The first part of this new chapter was not marked by battle or triumph. It was marked by restraint. The Council saw a quiet planet and mistook it for uncertainty. Earth saw a vast interstellar order and chose patience over pride. In the darkness between stars, both sides waited, and the silence grew heavier. The Council began to treat Earth as a source of amusement. It started slowly. Small comments in public broadcasts, meant to be heard across the outer rim, hinted at humanity's backwardness. "Combustion children," one counselor said in a casual conversation, unaware that Earth-listening posts picked up the words. Laughter followed. Subtle mocking, but unmistakable. At the Nevada facility, Daniel Brooks and Dr. Laura Mitchell received fragments of the Council's broadcasts. At first, they were amused. The words sounded almost silly when translated, but the amusement faded quickly. The words were layered with contempt, the kind of casual ridicule that was more dangerous than open threats. "They think this is a joke," Daniel said quietly, staring at the lines of text scrolling across the screen. Laura shook her head. "A joke at our expense. They are testing us, seeing how far they can push." The broadcasts were becoming regular. Every few days, Earth would pick up commentary disguised as diplomacy, containing insults that were subtle but clear enough to sting. Counselors discussed human politics, wars, and failures as if humans were an amusing story to share with friends. Nicole Hayes, in the White House, watched one such broadcast in the secure briefing room. "They think we will respond with anger or embarrassment," she said. Her tone was flat, but her eyes were sharp. "They do not understand that we do not play their game." President Ethan Clark folded his hands. "Then we remain silent." The silence on Earth was deliberate. It was discipline. It was patience. But not everyone understood that discipline required more than quiet. It required action behind the scenes. Above the solar system, in hidden orbit, human ships moved silently. They were unseen, almost ghostly. Admiral Ryan Cole watched his fleet, positioned in shadows near Jupiter and Saturn. The ships were not powerful individually, but together they were formidable. They had been built and tested in secret for decades. The Council had never imagined humans could hide such force. Maya Torres walked through the engine room of Horizon, checking each system. Gravity drives hummed softly. Shielding technology masked the ships from detection. Quantum veils made them invisible to conventional scans. Every station, every vessel, every piece of equipment had been designed for one purpose: to remain unseen until Earth decided it was time to respond. Dr. Kevin Harper, who oversaw the Quantum Veil project, smiled faintly as he reviewed the final calculations. "They will see nothing," he said. "Even if they try to measure us, they will find nothing they can trust." "Do you think it will be enough?" Ryan asked. Kevin did not answer immediately. He did not need to. The display showed readings in perfect order. Invisible, undetectable, ready? The Council's amusement continued. They began sending small patrol vessels toward the outer edges of the solar system. These ships did not carry weapons, or at least none that could reach Earth quickly. Their purpose was reconnaissance to see if humanity would respond. Earth did not respond. The Council's public ridicule intensified. Pevek, in a council session broadcast across the outer rim, laughed at human leaders. He described them as children with dangerous toys, too slow to understand the game. On Earth, Daniel, Laura, and the military leaders heard the words. Nicole Hayes leaned forward in her chair. "They are trying to make us angry," Daniel nodded. "They are trying to see how far they can push, and that is exactly what we are watching." Every patrol that moved near the inner planets was carefully monitored. Sensors disguised as civilian satellites picked up the vessels, tracked them, and recorded their technology. Every weakness, every movement, every miscalculation was studied. In orbit near Mars, Admiral Cole reviewed one report with Ryan and Maya. "They think we are blind," he said. "They think we will react emotionally. They are wrong." Maya adjusted a console. "We know their technology better than they know ours. They cannot touch us without entering a trap." Ryan smiled faintly. "And when they do, it will be their surprise." Meanwhile, back on Earth, political and scientific teams worked tirelessly. Daniel Brooks led diplomatic simulation exercises, imagining every possible scenario for first contact. Laura Mitchell studied council protocols, learning how each species communicated, how they negotiated, and where they were most likely to make mistakes. In Washington, President Clark kept his team focused. Publicly, the world saw no change. The media reported normal news, trade agreements, scientific discoveries, political debates. Privately, Earth was preparing. The Council's mockery grew more public. Broadcasts replayed old wars, old human conflicts, and failures of science and diplomacy. One video showed an early rocket explosion. Counselor Pevek used it as evidence of human recklessness. "This is why they should not be trusted," he said. Daniel Brooks watched in silence. "They do not understand patience," he said. "They think we are afraid," Laura said. "No," Daniel replied. "We are patient, that is different." Across the solar system, the hidden human fleet continued its preparations. Ships practiced maneuvers, tested cloaking technology, and refined communication protocols. Every officer understood the stakes. Every engineer knew the consequences of failure. Then, one day, a council patrol vessel crossed a line. It moved closer than allowed, entering the outer orbit of Jupiter without permission. Its scans were invasive, precise, and deliberate. The vessel transmitted its findings in real time, assuming that Earth would see and panic. Daniel Brooks watched the transmission with a quiet intensity. "They have crossed the line," he said. Nicole Hayes nodded. "This is no longer mockery, this is intrusion." President Clark's voice was steady. "We continue to observe, but we prepare to act." On horizon, Admiral Cole received the same data. He studied the patrol vessel's path, speed, and communication patterns. "They think we are asleep," he said. Maya Torres adjusted shields and grav drives. "They have no idea what is waiting for them." Kevin Harper analyzed the vessel's sensors. "Any attempt to scan us further will fail. We control the blind spots. We can appear or disappear at will." The Council, unaware of humanity's secret preparations, continued their commentary. They spoke of the curious and loud planet as if it were harmless. They underestimated the intelligence, patience, and planning of humanity. Earth's silence was deliberate. Months passed. Council patrols came and went. Each one received the same response: nothing. Inside the Nevada facility, Daniel and Laura kept their teams focused. They studied patterns, predicted council actions, and advised military teams. Every movement, every decision was calculated to maximize Earth's advantage while remaining invisible. In orbit, Ryan Cole trained his crew on stealth maneuvers. Ships moved silently between asteroids, around moons, and near gas giants. Every position was planned years in advance. Maya oversaw maintenance of the engines, ensuring nothing would betray their location. Kevin's quantum veils were updated continuously to anticipate Council scanning techniques. The mockery of the Council grew tiresome. They thought Earth would respond with anger or shame. Instead, humanity waited. Every insult, every derisive word, every broadcast meant more data. "Every time they speak," Daniel said to Laura one evening, "they tell us more about themselves, their culture, their priorities, their weaknesses." Laura nodded. "And we learn, we adapt, we prepare." On the Council side, frustration grew. Pevek could not understand why Earth remained silent. Loran warned other counselors that the humans might be unpredictable. Some species argued that Earth should be ignored. Others thought the planet was too dangerous to dismiss. But no one expected patience. And patience was exactly what humanity had chosen. By the end of the year, Council broadcasts included more direct mockery. Videos of human wars were played with commentary describing human cruelty and chaos. Counselor Pevek called humans primitive and amusing, while Loran cautioned that their cleverness should not be underestimated. Daniel and Laura watched with quiet determination. "Let them talk," Daniel said. "We are listening, and we are ready." In orbit, Admiral Cole and his crew continued preparations. Patrol vessels that came too close were carefully monitored. No attacks were made. No mistakes occurred. Every movement was precise, every sensor reading analyzed. Maya Torres reviewed power outputs and drive calibrations. "We are ready if needed," she said. Kevin Harper smiled faintly. "We have been ready for years, they just do not know it yet." Earth's silence was no longer passive. It had become strategic. Every insult, every joke, every mocking broadcast added to humanity's understanding of the Council. Every patrol was a lesson. Every observation a resource. And while the Council laughed at the combustion children, Earth built a quiet power the Council would soon discover. The first signs of patience turning to action would come without warning. But for now, the planet waited, and the Council continued to speak, unaware that every word strengthened the very force they believed weak. Humanity did not respond. Not yet. Not until the council learned that words could no longer carry consequences without action. And in the shadows of the solar system, unseen by all but a few, Earth's silent fleet prepared for the day when Mockery would become unacceptable. It began with a small patrol vessel, sleek and silver, moving cautiously toward the outer planets. Its sensors scanned the asteroid belt, the moons of Jupiter, and the hidden stations that humanity had quietly built. It was supposed to be a routine observation. The Council wanted information. They wanted confirmation that humanity remained disorganized and weak. On board Horizon, Admiral Ryan Cole watched the patrol vessel appear on the long-range sensors. His crew remained calm, trained to follow procedure. "They've crossed the line," Ryan said. His voice was steady, but the words carried weight. "This is no longer testing. This is intrusion." Maya Torres double-checked the cloaking fields around the fleet. "They will not see us, not a single ship, and if they try to scan further, it will fail." Kevin Harper monitored the quantum veils. "They think their sensors are advanced. They do not know what is possible." Ryan looked at the vessel on the display. "We give them one chance. They move closer, we respond." The patrol vessel moved as if it were aware of its own authority. It crossed the orbit of Jupiter, scanning satellites and human stations, broadcasting its findings in real time. Its message was filled with casual mockery, meant to belittle humanity. Primitive civilization shows signs of weakness. Military organization is minimal. Strategy unpredictable but clumsy. On Earth, Daniel Brooks and Laura Mitchell watched the transmission in the secure facility. Daniel rubbed his chin thoughtfully. "They have misjudged our patience," he said. Laura nodded. "They assume silence is fear. It is not." President Ethan Clark listened quietly in the briefing room. Nicole Hayes stood beside him, her expression tense. "They are poking us, sir. They want a reaction." President Clark leaned back. "And we give them none, not yet, but we are ready if they overstep." Far above the solar system, the Council expected a simple reaction: panic, an attempt to communicate, or a display of weapons. They received none. On Horizon, Admiral Cole issued quiet orders. "Monitor, track, prepare. Do not engage unless they enter the inner system." "Then we act." Maya moved through the engine room, checking every system. Gravity drives hummed softly. Shields were at full power. Communications were encrypted and silent. Every vessel was invisible to the patrol. Every weapon system ready, though none would be fired until the command came. The patrol vessel scanned longer than necessary. Its crew did not know what they were missing. Humanity's stations were small, hidden behind asteroids or cloaked behind magnetic fields. Each observation gave the humans more data about the patrol's technology, speed, and methods. Daniel Brooks and Laura Mitchell studied the live transmission, noting patterns. "They are confident because they have never faced us in secret," Daniel said. "They think knowledge is one-sided. It is not." Laura smiled faintly. "Every time they move, every scan, every calculation, we learn, and when we respond, it will be precise." Meanwhile, the council chamber grew restless. Loran and Pevek debated humanity's significance. Some council members argued that Earth should be ignored. Others thought it was too dangerous to leave unmonitored. Pevek's voice carried amusement. "They remain silent, yet I am not afraid of silence. Silence is weak. Silence is easily broken." Loran warned against underestimating humans. "They are unpredictable. Their technology may seem limited, but they hide much. Their history is full of survival against impossible odds." Pevek dismissed the warning with a hum of laughter. "Stories of survival are not proof of strength. We have faced real threats. Earth is a curiosity, not a challenge." They were wrong. The first subtle response came when the patrol vessel attempted a direct scan of one of Earth's hidden stations near Jupiter. The sensors failed instantly. The vessel's instruments recorded readings, but they were false. The patrol crew could not distinguish between empty space and the cloaked fleet. On board Horizon, Ryan smiled at the display. "They think they see something, they see nothing." Maya adjusted the shields. "We control every blind spot. They cannot detect us, not a single ship." Kevin Harper's fingers flew over the controls of the quantum veil system. "The vessel is recording false signals. They will think the station is damaged or inactive." "It is perfect." The patrol vessel transmitted its findings to the council, confident in its report. "Station appears abandoned. No weapon systems detected. Civilization remains disorganized." On Earth, Daniel Brooks read the report with a quiet smile. "They see what we allow. They misjudge everything else." Laura added. "It is a lesson. They do not know the full extent of our preparation." The council, unaware of the deception, continued their mockery. Pevek broadcasted remarks meant for humor. "The children hide, but they do not play well. Their toys are small, their games predictable." The patrol vessel moved closer to Saturn, still scanning, still confident. But Horizon followed in silence. Every ship was in position, every sensor was recording, every hidden base was cataloged. Humanity was learning. Humanity was ready. President Clark received updates in the secure briefing room. Nicole Hayes watched closely. "If they continue, sir, we will need to act." Clark nodded slowly. "We act only if they violate our boundaries. Mockery alone does not justify war. Intrusion does." The patrol vessel sent another broadcast, a casual taunt meant to humiliate Earth further. "Observation continues. Civilization remains primitive. Military organization appears minimal. Strategy is inconsistent. Response to scrutiny is delayed." Daniel Brooks read the report aloud to Laura. "They still believe silence is weakness." Laura shook her head. "Silence is strength, and when the time comes, they will learn that patience is power." Above Neptune, the patrol vessel made a critical error. It attempted to scan the hidden human fleet too closely. Quantum veils scrambled its sensors. Gravity distortions shifted the readings. The patrol crew believed their instruments were failing. Admiral Cole issued the order. "Do not engage." "Let them learn that mistakes can be costly." Maya smiled faintly. "They think they are safe. They are not." Kevin monitored energy outputs. "Any attempt to probe further will be blocked. They cannot touch us without entering traps we have set years ago." On Earth, Daniel Brooks advised the president. "They have crossed a line. It is time for a firm but measured response. Not anger, not war, just demonstration." Clark nodded. "And that demonstration will show them our capabilities without unnecessary risk." The council noticed changes in the patrol vessel's readings. Confusion spread. Loran questioned Pevek. "The readings are inconsistent. Something is wrong. We should withdraw." Pevek waved a hand. "Nonsense. Their technology cannot hide so completely. There must be error." "Continue observation." They did not understand. The vessel was entirely within the influence of Horizon's fleet, invisible, untouchable. The humans controlled every detection channel. Then came the first subtle strike. Not a weapon fired, but a precise demonstration of power. The patrol vessel's trajectory was subtly shifted by gravitational manipulation. It drifted slightly off course and transmitted an alarm back to the council. On Horizon, Ryan watched the readings. "They think it was a system malfunction," he said. Maya nodded. "It was. And they will believe it is natural, yet it is controlled by us." Kevin Harper smiled. "A small taste. They will know something is different, but they will not understand how much they are blind to." The council's amusement began to fade. Loran's eyes widened in concern. "Something is happening. They are more capable than we expected." Pevek, still laughing lightly, waved off the warning. "No, it is a minor anomaly. Their systems cannot be advanced enough to do this intentionally." Earth's message was clear. Mockery could continue, but intrusion would not go unanswered. Every council patrol that came too close felt it without realizing the source. Every movement in space was calculated, precise, and entirely invisible to their instruments. Daniel Brooks and Laura Mitchell watched the results with quiet satisfaction. "We have sent a warning," Daniel said. Laura smiled. "A warning without violence. They will respect boundaries or they will learn consequences." The council debated. Voices rose in confusion. Loran warned of human cleverness. Others dismissed it. Pevek remained arrogant, convinced that humans were weak. But the seeds of doubt had been planted. And for the first time, the council realized that humanity's silence had not been fear. It had been calculation, strategy, and patience. On Earth, preparations continued. Hidden fleets moved, veiled stations operated, and human technology remained unseen. The council would soon learn that patience could be more dangerous than anger. And mockery, once harmless, had begun to become unacceptable. The council had not yet understood the full power of humanity. When the first subtle warning came, they assumed it was a minor anomaly. When the second occurred, they began to suspect error in their own instruments. But when the patrol vessel near Saturn drifted off course in a controlled shift of gravity, the council realized something was changing. Onboard Horizon, Admiral Ryan Cole watched the readings carefully. "They are beginning to realize," he said. "They think we are testing them, but they do not know we are fully prepared." Maya Torres adjusted a control panel, smiling faintly. Every move we make is invisible to them. Every calculation is theirs to misinterpret. They cannot see us. Kevin Harper monitored energy outputs. They still believe they are safe. Soon they will understand they are not. On Earth, President Ethan Clark sat in the secure briefing room with Daniel Brooks and Laura Mitchell. Nicole Hayes and General Aaron Hill joined via video link. The tension in the room was sharp. They crossed boundaries, Clark said. Now we show them the consequences of intrusion, not anger, not war, just power they cannot ignore. Daniel Brooks leaned forward. We have patience, but patience is not weakness, it is strength. They will learn that now. Laura added, every fleet, every station, every system is ready. We do not need to reveal everything, just enough. The council convened in emergency session. Loran, Pevek, and other counselors crowded the chamber. Anxiety replaced amusement. Their instruments had begun recording anomalies they could not explain. Their patrol vessels reported strange energy patterns, shifts in gravitational readings, and interference that seemed intelligent. Pevek waved his hands, trying to maintain composure. Surely this is a coincidence, he said. They cannot manipulate space so precisely. Their technology is limited. Loran's voice was firm. I warned you, they are clever and patient. They hide power we do not yet see. The council debated in tension. Some argued to ignore Earth. Others wanted to send a full armada to assert dominance. Pevek continued to mock, though less confidently. They are children. Even if clever, they cannot threaten us. The patrol vessel near Saturn made another minor misstep. Its trajectory shifted slightly again, and its communication logs began transmitting false data. The crew panicked, thinking their instruments were failing. On horizon, Ryan Cole observed silently. They are learning slowly, but they still do not understand. Maya smiled. Every movement, every calculation, every patrol has taught us about them. They cannot see us. They cannot anticipate us. Kevin Harper added, and when they attempt to act, they will be surprised, completely. Earth's response was careful, controlled, and strategic. It was not anger. It was a demonstration of capability and restraint. In Nevada, Daniel Brooks drafted a message. It was concise, firm, and factual, not a threat, not a demand, a statement of position. Observation is allowed, intrusion is not, mockery is tolerated. Violation of boundaries is unacceptable. President Clark approved the transmission. Send it, he said, but do not add emotion, let them understand facts only. The message was sent through quantum channels, reaching council systems instantly. It was formal, precise. Unyielding, in council chambers, Loran received it. Their eyes widened as the words appeared. They are speaking, Loran said quietly, not in anger but in authority. Pevek read aloud, his tone faltering. Observation is allowed, intrusion is not, mockery is tolerated. Violation of boundaries is unacceptable. Silence filled the chamber. For the first time, the council realized that their amusement had ended. Humanity had responded, not with weapons, not with rage, but with clarity and control. Meanwhile, the hidden human fleet shifted position. Ships moved silently near patrol corridors. Stations hummed quietly, all cloaked and invisible. The patrol vessel near Saturn detected interference but could not locate its source. Ryan Cole addressed his crew. Do not engage unless ordered. Let them see the consequences of their overconfidence. Our presence alone is enough. Maya Torres monitored engine outputs. They think they are safe. They are not. Kevin Harper checked the quantum veils. Every vessel is hidden. Every movement is controlled. If they attempt intrusion again, we are ready. The council debated frantically. Loran insisted on withdrawal. We underestimated them. We cannot approach the inner system safely. Pevek, still arrogant, argued to continue observation. It is impossible. They are clever, yes, but not dangerous. The patrol vessel sent another transmission, reporting false readings and anomalies. Its crew speculated on the possibility of natural interference. They did not know the fleet was right above them, invisible, controlling every movement, every signal, every outcome. On Earth, Daniel Brooks and Laura Mitchell watched the reports. They still underestimate us, Daniel said, but now they feel the first hint of limits. Laura nodded, and limits are all we need them to know, not fear, not rage, respect. Across the solar system, subtle gravitational shifts and energy patterns sent warnings the council could not ignore. Every patrol felt it, every instrument recorded it, but no one could identify the source. Admiral Cole smiled faintly. They will learn, not by attack, not by war, but by knowing they are no longer in control. The Council finally recognized the message. Silence and mockery had limits. Humanity had shown it could endure, observe, and act without aggression. The Council debated withdrawal, restraint, and reassessment. On Earth, the secure facilities continued to operate quietly. Hidden fleets remained positioned, sensors monitored Council space, and every calculation ensured readiness. Humanity did not celebrate. They did not need to. Their patience had already achieved the goal. Daniel Brooks spoke to President Clark. They will respect boundaries now. They will not forget that intrusion has consequences. Clark nodded. And we do not need to fight, we only need to be ready. In council chambers, Pevek's laughter died. Loran looked uneasy. For the first time, the council understood the combustion world was no longer a curiosity. It was an equal, perhaps more. The message from Earth was simple. Observation was allowed, mockery tolerated, intrusion forbidden. The council recognized it as a warning. A demonstration of restraint and strength. The patrol vessels returned slowly, carefully. Their logs reported anomalies they could not explain. Their crew felt unease for the first time. They had seen no weapons, no attacks, but they had sensed power, control, precision. Humanity had responded without aggression, and that was far more dangerous than any battle. On horizon, the fleet remained hidden. Ryan Cole addressed his crew quietly. Our work is done for now. They know we exist. They know we are ready. Let them adjust to that. Maya Torres nodded. We have sent the message, clear and strong. Kevin Harper smiled. And they will think twice before testing boundaries again. On Earth, Daniel Brooks and Laura Mitchell reviewed council transmissions and patrol reports. Every word, every movement, every hesitation confirmed what they already knew. Humanity had changed the way the council saw them. President Clark spoke in a quiet room with Nicole Hayes. We did not shout. We did not fight. We acted with intelligence and patience. That is how we establish respect, Nicole nodded. They will remember this, and for the first time they will treat humanity seriously. Far across the stars, the council reviewed their failures. Mockery had been fun. Intrusion had seemed safe. But patience, strategy, and silence had created a force they could not ignore. Earth had answered finally, not with anger but with consequence. The galaxy had learned that silence could speak louder than war. And the combustion children, once mocked and dismissed, had become a power no counselor could ignore. Humanity did not celebrate. They did not need to. They had only done what was necessary. They had endured mockery, observed carefully, and responded precisely. And in that quiet, controlled response, the galaxy knew that Earth would no longer be underestimated. The Council had learned its first lesson. Respect was not given, it was earned. And humanity had earned it quietly with patience and intelligence. The era of mockery was over. Earth had responded, not with anger, not with fear, with calculated authority, and the galaxy would remember it.